standing on holy ground, feeling the grace of knowing there is only God. And we say yes to life, and we say yes to love, knowing that heaven is within us, right here and now. And we say yes to life, and we say yes to love. In this sacred sanctuary, we are one. Welcome home.
Can you feel the love on this
Holy ground, standing on holy ground. Nothing can divide us. Love will always guide us. Holy ground, standing on holy ground, feeling the grace of knowing there is only God. And we say yes to life, and we say yes to love, knowing that heaven is within us, right here and now. And we say yes to life, and we say yes to love. In this sacred sanctuary, we are one. Welcome home.
Can you feel the joy?
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Can you feel the peace?
Welcome home.
Welcome. Can you feel the joy?
In this sacred sanctuary, we are one. In this blessed sanctuary, we are one. In this loving sanctuary, we are one. Welcome home. Welcome home. Can you feel the joy? Welcome home. Can you feel the love? In this sacred sanctuary, we are one. In this blessed sanctuary, we are one. In this loving sanctuary, we are one. Welcome home. Blessings, blessings. We are blessed today. Good morning. It is wonderful to see you all here today and to be with the people that are online in addition to the people here in the room. I want to say thank you to everybody that is here today with us. Or if you're joining later but you're still online, you're still with us and it's still now. So I'm good. I want to say thank you to the people that make that possible. And that starts with Amanda up in our balcony. She is doing our Facebook, or she is doing she is doing all the AV that makes Facebook possible, and she is doing the sound in the sanctuary so you can hear us here, and it's a wonderful job. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah. And also, thank you for being willing to go to Citrus College, go through all of their training to become a professional tech, and then serving here as part of your life. Thank you very much. How wonderful to bring that expertise to us. Thank you, thank you. And also, I am saying thank you to Peggy. Peggy Huber is our Facebook manager today, and she is the one making it possible for us to be online and have a presence of a host that greets everyone that comes in, knowing that each one is important to us. Thank you, Peggy. Yes. And boy, do we have a music team today. You know, that when we have 5 Sundays in a month, we get to have both Mary Eckler, our music director, and Christy Cohen, who is in charge of entertainment on our board. And wow, what, what a combination when they come together. It's like, Wow. These are two people that have worked together for years and years, but they very seldom get to see each other. So, how wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for being here today. And what a privilege. Our practitioner today, Jan Ubersexig. Yes, yes, yay. And I'm so looking forward to what she will say for us today. And by the way, I'm quoting one of your favorite poets today. Yeah, it's only one sentence, but it's. But every time I read her, I think of you, so Mary Oliver. Yeah, of course we know that. And Jan always brings us a wonderful, wonderful inspiration. She did the pre-service meditation, and that I know everyone who was privileged enough to be in the room at 10:30, what a delight for you. And she will also be available after service if you would like individual prayer with our practitioner of the day. And so she'll meet you on the west side of the sanctuary and do personal prayer with you. So just delighted. Thank you. And she did something special today. I'm not supposed to say this till the announcements, but she brought her daughter and son-in-law to church. Yay! And her daughter, Care, is going to be putting on a workshop for us next week. She's going to give you some information about that. So stay for the announcements. This is what I can tell you. Stay for the announcements. And particularly if you're online, don't just get off, because there's a really good information to have. And thank you, Care, for being here today. Yeah. And Steve, thanks for being with her. I did the wedding, yes. So, delighted. We do have a vision statement. It is on the front of your program, and Peggy is putting it up online now. And it says, it's one we read every Sunday to keep us centered in that we are about. We are a vibrant, loving community and an inspirational resource for spiritual awakening and personal growth. And that is what we are. And so we center in that. I want to also give thanks that we have a vibrant ministry of prayer. We have 20 practitioners, 6 of whom are practitioner emeritus. And that means that they have been praying daily for over 20 years for the beauty and the grace of this congregation. Some of them, Bob and Maureen Welch, were in the very first practitioner class that I ever taught at this church, which was the first one that ever happened here. And that was the year after I had come to be the senior minister. And what a delight to have that legacy of practitioners who have loved this church, loved you, the congregation, so much that they keep us in prayer. You can individualize that prayer by sending a prayer request. Go to our website. It's at www.somchurch.org. And you simply go to the link on the top of the homepage and allow that link to take you to a form to fill out. When you send it, it comes directly to me. I start prayer and send it on to our practitioners and to Reverend Carol. And so you have 22 people praying right away for you. And we love to do it. So be willing to ask. It's an important thing to remember that Jesus didn't heal without being asked. So there's an important part there for us all. All right, and with all of that, I think it is time for our Song of the Month, and this is a sing-along. Don't make Christy sing alone. That's not a good thing. And actually, she wouldn't be today because she'd be singing with with Mary, but it's still our job to join them.
Peace in my life is growing. Boy, it sounds pretty in here. I'm hearing harmony and peace in my family is growing because I choose love. So let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Here we go. Let love be present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
All that harmony gives me chills. Beautiful, you guys. Beautiful. It says right here in my 18-point font, read the affirmation. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's on the inside cover of your program. And Terry has given us something from the Dalai Lama that bears listening to. In the end, what matters most is how well did I love, how well did I live, how well did I learn to let go. I was doing really good till the last one, but I'm working on that. Okay. So the other day, I broke my own rule and listened to the evening news. My great-granddaughter calls the evening blues. That always begins with good evening and then tells you all the reasons it's not. Proceeds to tell you who has the biggest, baddest weapon. A weapon of bullets, a weapon of words, a weapon of conspiracies, a weapon of fear. And then they, whoever they are, what they might do with those weapons. And there's film at 11. And I'm not someone who buries my head in the sand. I know what's going on in the world, and I know when to take action, addressing the problems. But I need, this way?
Bring it this way so that you're not breathing into
I'm
it
not
when
breathing
you're
on it, okay. So I know when to take action addressing the problems, but I need an antidote to the spilling out of all of them all the time with no attention to the joy that is here and real and healing. So I did what I often do. I turned to that pile of books on my desk, under my desk, beside my desk, and the universe gave me Robert Fulghum's book, All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. Getting back to basics always works for me. So if it is comfortable for you, close your eyes or simply take a soft focus on something beautiful and join me in consciousness as I share Fulgham's wisdom with you in prayer. In this realization of my prayer, I create a weapon. I build a Crayola bomb, a happiness weapon, a beauty bomb, and every time a crisis develops, I launch one. It explodes high in the air, explodes softly, and sends thousands, no, millions, of tiny little parachutes into the sky, each one floating down to earth, boxes of Crayolas. Not the cheap boxes of just 8 colors, but those glorious boxes of 64 with the sharpener built right in, with silver and gold and copper and magenta and peach and lime and amber and umber and all the rest. And everyone, everywhere, is smiling. They get excited looks on their faces, and they begin to color the world with imagination, with joy. It is breathtaking, and it changes everything. I would urge you to Google Crayola Bomb and read Fulgham's original piece again and again, and then there, in the most powerful armory in the world, your mind, build your Crayola Bomb. See it burst and watch those tiny parachutes float down onto the earth and into your life and into the lives of those you love and into everywhere, covering the globe. Then pick up your own precious box of 64 and begin to color the world with your unique imagination. Go ahead, color outside the lines. Make the cow purple, the cat maybe a Venetian blue. What I know is there is an amazing storehouse of creativity within you. You are a powerhouse for joy. Share it. I see you there, peeking out from behind your periwinkle tree with the silver fruit. We have the power to change the world. We can paint this planet with colors of love. Join me. We'll stand together under a big, round, yellow sun, warm and excited about the beautiful side of life, the way we were born to be. There is one divine creative intelligence, one spirit that exists in its original form everywhere, unlimited and eternal. It is through this divine artist that everything takes form. And this divine artist expresses through you and through me. It is up to us. So pick up your favorite color, and I'll pick up mine. Let's take a moment and become aware of the life force within us. The energy you feel is the divine. I recognize the presence of life itself, that energy that is pure spirit, and I know I am one with all life. God is right here, right now, colorful, limitless potential for good. I know that as Chris shares her inspiring message on joy with us today, she is moving in the mind of God, creating with vibrant thoughts and words that paint rainbows. I recognize the beautiful colors of Reverend Chris and of all the volunteers that make this sanctuary an artistry of love. And I offer a special thanks and blessing to Christy and Mary, who share their joyful music with us today, and to our amazing technical team, who make it possible for us to be in this place together, here in this physical room and in the virtual room. There is no separation. We are one. The words spoken here today and the commitment forged in each mind to more fully express divine joy are manifesting in the activities of this spiritual family as a whole and in our individual lives. I release these words, these thoughts, into a law that always responds, and today breaks open a brand new box of 64 and says yes to this ever-creative and love-fueled side of life that is joy, and so it is.
If it's to be, well, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I seek the truth, let me speak the truth. If I'm lost in doubt, let me believe. I know I can be the change I want to see. And if it's to be, if it's to be, oh, if it's to be, you know it's up to me. If I'm tired and stressed, let me stop and rest. If I'm feeling hurt, let me forgive. I know I can be the change I want to see. And if it's to be, if it's to be, whoa, if it's to be, you know it's up to me. If I dream of peace, let me be the peace. When I start from love, I am love. I know I can be the change I want to see. If it's to be, if it's to be, if it's to be, you know it's up to me. You know it's up to me. You know it's up to me. You know it's up to me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Joyful songs. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Yes, we're right there. Okay, that's not the name of my talk, though. All right. So last week I was working on a talk that, I have like 25, 30 minutes to give you guys everything I know about a subject. Never works. But Buddha, there was a holiday last week for Buddha, which got me to thinking about the thing that awoke in him to a journey, not to an answer, but to a journey, a process that he was on to find joy with the knowledge of everything that happens in life. And it started when he left the palace of his father for the first time. And he already was a grown man, he already had a family, he already was destined for great things because he was supposed to be the ruler after his father would pass and leave the kingdom to him. But he went out of the castle walls, out of the protection that was to keep him from knowing about the pain in the world. And he saw 4 sights. The first 3 very disturbing for him. The first three, he saw someone who was getting old, and all that that means. He saw somebody that was sick, all that that means. And he saw a funeral procession. And so for the first time, he saw someone that had passed away. And this caused him great suffering. He was just, like, whoa, I didn't know any of this went on in the world. And then he saw a priest, a Hindu monk, who was joyful. And he was like, you live in the middle of all of this stuff, and you're joyful? I want what you're having, And so he went on a quest to figure out how to have joy simultaneously with the understanding of what happens in life. And that's the quest that we're all on, I think, in many ways. It's like Jan said, she watched the news, and then she had to find joy. And both things take place simultaneously. And I think that's an important thing for us to know, and what we're looking at now is trying to answer that question. How do we find joy when we know that life has these challenges? Life has these events that life for ourselves and for the people we love will contain these things, and that we need to find a way to live in this world and to recognize what's real, and at the same time find what is innately within us, which is joy. And I think it's important for us to recognize that one of the spiritual qualities of God that we celebrate, that we look to, is joy. And so that means it's possible. And I think that for me, I have had to learn how to deal with change, because what I recognize in life is that life is about change. You cannot hold on to anything. You cannot hold on to something or someone that has been important to you. You cannot hold on to a particular way of being, a particular status or space in life, because that's not how life works. Life is a consistent movement of experience in this physical world that we're in. And therefore, there's a constant of releasing something and gaining something, releasing and moving, releasing and moving. And so for me, I really think the mastery of change is a huge part of being able to find joy. And it'd be wonderful if I could tell you that you can always control the changes that go on in your life. But I notice that that's not true. And I want to speak to that. I want to speak to the fact that things happen that we may or may not be expecting, and that we can respond to in a positive way. Now, I think for me, one of the big pieces has been to learn how to ask the right questions, the questions that bring me to a bigger understanding of life, to ask the questions that can help me focus on what I am here about, and it can help me understand myself better. And so I think asking the questions that lead me to a deeper awareness are the things that have made my spiritual path vibrant and beautiful. And so I share that with you because I know that you can ask questions too. And they may be some of the ones that I've asked myself, or they may be something else. They may be something that comes up from the depths of your being that tells you that this is the way for you. But today I want to look at some of those deeper questions that can reveal to us what it is that we are here about and what is going on in life. And then when we ask questions, sometimes, hopefully, what bubbles up may be beliefs that we have, and some of those beliefs may serve us, and some we may choose to look at more deeply and to ask an additional question, like, what is the highest truth that I know about this situation? Because perhaps my belief is coming out of experiences of lack and limitation. misunderstanding, of hurt, and isn't bringing me to that space of a higher understanding. And I will tell you that the question that I learned not to ask is, why me? Why me, oh Lord? You know, I learned that that question didn't actually do any good. That all that did was make me go into all of the conversation about whether or not I am worthy of life. And that doesn't do any good at all. So I'm inviting us to give that question up and to begin to transcend that, because we're not here to live life as if we are a victim to it, because we're not. We are co-creators with the Most High. And it is for us to realize what is ours to do and what is not. So I wanted to take a look at some of the main questions that I've asked myself. And I remember probably about 50 years ago hearing the quote from Schweitzer that said, either the most fundamental question that you can answer is, do you live in a friendly or an unfriendly universe? And at that time, I probably would have answered that saying, well, it doesn't look real friendly most of the time. But I thought, what a nice idea, a friendly universe. And I began to explore whether or not I could hold that higher truth, that in fact, this universe, God, all of this, that we live and move and have our being in, if that actually was friendly. If in fact what has been said about God, if God is for you, nothing can be against you, it's like, can I prove that? And as I looked and studied and considered over the years, I would really like you to understand this is a lifetime project. Amanda, I seem to be getting a little bit of a tinny sound up here, and I don't know if that's just me. Or, okay. I'll keep talking. So if I look and ask a question, it's not only once. Many of these questions are lifetime questions. I know that when I was in practitioner training, I heard that Emma Curtis Hopkins said that there is good for you and you ought to have it. And I thought, how can I see good in every situation? And I begin to have to ask that question. Sometimes it felt like hourly. You know, I had to ask that question. In this situation, where is the good? And then I had to be patient, because my command and demand on the universe that said there must be good in this and I should have it would allow it to be revealed over time. And so what looked like it wasn't good in one moment could be transformed, could be a movement of life, and could continue to unfold. And so my urging to all of us is to not think that this is a one and done situation. This is life, and we're here bringing this good to it all the time. Jane Goodall, when she was 90 years old, she made this comment, and I think that this deals with both illness and death. She said, my next great adventure is going to be dying. She was honest about life, wasn't she? And she said, there's either nothing or something. Now that sounds very much like Socrates, who said the same thing when he was going to drink poison at the direction of the Senate of Athens. And so there's either nothing or something. If there's nothing, there's nothing. That's it. If there's something, I can't think of a greater adventure than finding out what it is. I happen to think that there is something because of the experiences I've had, because of the experiences other people have had, very powerful ones. And so I was curious, if that's true, what are these experiences she's talking about? And I have one from her book, which is called A Reason for Hope, A Spiritual Journey. And so this is one in her own beautiful words. She said, "Lost in awe at the beauty around me, I must have slipped into a state of heightened awareness." I'm going to stop right there. Interesting, Socrates felt that the highest value of God was beauty. And it's often the beauty in nature that allows us to sit and be quiet with it and to contemplate it and to have an experience of something more. And that's what happened for Jane. She said, it is hard, impossible really, to put into words the moment of truth that suddenly came upon me then. Even the mystics are unable to describe their brief flashes of spiritual ecstasy. It seemed to me, as I struggled afterwards to recall the experience, the self was utterly absent. And she's talking about the self with the small s. The self was utterly absent. I and the chimpanzees, the earth and trees and air seemed to merge, to become one with the spirit power of life itself. That afternoon, it had been as though an unseen hand had drawn back a curtain, and from the briefest moment, I had seen through such a window in a flash of outsight. She didn't call it insight, she called it outsight. I had known timelessness and quiet ecstasy, sensed a truth of what mainstream science is merely a small fraction. And I knew that the revelation would be with me for the rest of my life, imperfectly remembered, yet always within, a source of strength on which I could draw when life seemed harsh or cruel or desperate. See, notice the joy, the oneness, and the reality of life itself existing in the same moment. Both. She continued, all the time I was getting closer to animals and nature, and as a result, closer to myself, and more in tune with the spiritual power that I felt all around. For those who have experienced the joy of being alone with nature, there is really little need to say more. For those who have not, no words of mine can ever describe the powerful, almost mystical knowledge of beauty and eternity that come suddenly and all unexpectedly. The oneness, it's the pathway to the joy. I noticed our song, our community song, it says, I choose love. And because I choose that, things happen in this world that bring it together. When we ask these questions, we may ask, where is that oneness now? But when we have had a moment, and I know that most of us have had it, and that we forget and remember and forget and remember. Howard Thurman talked about his moments of high resolve and remembering those moments where he knows that there is work for him to do, that there is life for him to live, and that he is to be about that. And he says, it's not the big things that challenge that. It's the dust and the grit of the journey. It's the day-to-day stuff that can take us out of that sense of ecstasy and out of knowing what is holy. And yet the Kabbalah tells us that when we focus on the oneness and bring that into a secure practice and a realization, that even our most basic bodily functions will be seen as holy. that everything that we do is holy, all of it. And we start to remember that. I want to go on because what are the questions that we can ask ourselves each day that helps us to focus what is mine and what is not? And Viktor Frankl, in his book, Yes to Life, Viktor Frankl, I quoted from him last week too, he is one of the people that he was a concentration camp survivor and brought forward an amazing understanding of life in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. This is another book, Yes to Life. And he said, what does life expect of me? What task in life is waiting for me? You see, when we ask that type of question, we, from that inner knowing, can bring forward what is the thing that is my focus now? What is it that's mine to do in this moment? What is the thing that I'm here to bring forward? Because I want to tell you that it may just look like the dust and the grit of the journey, but we are doing something amazing. And I've contemplated whether I was going to share this or not, but I think I am. I think many of you know we had some vandalism on the property last month, which we repaired. You might know that I have seen in the videotapes the gentleman who did it, and that I've not been real happy about him. You know, that matter of fact, he sort of ticks me off because he's cost us in his illness and whatever it is that makes him homeless, that makes him destructive. But yesterday, he came to our classroom when we were doing a class, knocked on the door, and was told to leave. And when I confronted him, I said, because I had told him the last time, and by the way, Jim, this is the same person that we talked to at one point in one of the 12-step meetings. When I talked to him, I said, what are you doing here? I told you that the next time I saw you on this property, I was going to call the police. Do you want me to do that? Here's the surprising answer. He said, yes. I said, okay, let me make that call. And I went in and I called the police, and I saw him lean up against the wall, and then I saw him slide down the wall and sit down, and then I saw him lay across the sidewalk. And what I had said the last time that I had seen him 2 weeks ago was that he didn't look well to me. I've known this guy for over 2 years. I have no idea what his name is. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he's destructive towards buildings but not towards people. And, he does that because he thinks he needs to have something that's inside the building. And usually it's small amounts of cash. And so, interestingly enough, when I saw him 2 weeks ago, I was like, he's pale. This man's not well. And then when I saw him this time, he was complaining about pain. And what I said to the police is, I want him out of here. I am willing to do a citizen's arrest. That is the right thing to do. And so we did that. I had to go through all the stuff about that. I had to tell him I was doing a citizen's arrest on him. And it's malarkey. Okay, so they got him in the car. And I go back to the class, and we are a class of people studying advanced consciousness, And I'm like, we're studying about prayer. We're studying to know that prayer is the right thing. What is the highest prayer? What is the prayer that we can ask for this person? And Peggy, of course, star student, comes up with one of my favorite prayers, his highest good and greatest distance. And, I'm like, yeah, okay, let's all join together in that. And everybody leaves class because it was time for that. And the police have him in the car. Another car comes up. They start talking about how they're going to handle his case. And they decide they're going to put him in the other car and take him to the station. And then I look up in the cameras, because none of that is my business. I look up in the cameras, and there's an ambulance there. And they're going to take him to Foothill Presbyterian Hospital. How's that for answered prayer? How's that for the attitude that we want to have towards humanity? Yes, we have good boundaries. Yes, we need to enforce our good boundaries. Yes, we do not tolerate bad behavior. And yes, this is a human being that needs help. And can we pray for that highest good and greatest distance? I don't need him coming back. So, but this space of remembering who we are, what we're here about, what is mine to do this day? What is the task in life that's waiting for me in this day? Mary Oliver said, this is in her poem, The Summer Day, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" That's a question to be asking each day. What is mine? What is my plan for this day? No matter what might be going on in my life is a wild and precious life to be lived. What's ours to do? Jean Houston, who passed away 2 weeks ago, and I watched her funeral on Zoom. Thank God for Zoom. You know, we would not be using Zoom like we do today if it hadn't been for COVID. An interesting thing to say, thank God for COVID, that it gave us these tools. So I'm online watching the Zoom funeral for Jean, and memorial really. And it's 2.5 hours long because you cannot contain a mythic life in 1 minute. And it could have gone on way further than that. There's probably 200 to 300 people in the synagogue where it's happening. There's probably, they told us, over 300 more people online from all around the world. Because Jean Houston actually worked all around the world. She was approved somewhere around '05 to do her social artistry through the UN, and was sent all around the world to teach community leaders, not political, but community leaders, how to create the social fabric of life and to transform what is happening in their world. And why was she given that? Because she has a mythic life, for one thing, but beyond that, she has an amazing intellect. And Jean, she met her husband, Robert Masters, when they were young college kids. Well, he was further than that, and I think she might have just been getting out of it. But they started a program in New York of studying the effects on consciousness produced when people used LSD. Now, this is before it got crazy, okay? This is before Timothy Leary, for those of us that are old enough to remember all that history. But they were studying this, and then and it was a federal grant because they were interested in the exploration of consciousness and the expansion of it and the experiences that people were having. Well, LSD got outlawed, and they began to shift their focus to how can people expand consciousness naturally without the use of drugs and any type of mind-altering thing. Because ultimately, that's what Jane Goodall did. She shifted her focus out of this experience, and didn't have to use drugs to do it, out of this experience of separation into the experience of oneness. And so that was one of the things that they began to explore. And in 1972, she and her husband wrote the book Mind Games, which detailed their findings of guided imagery, which is why meditation is so powerful for us, specific programs of body movement that could reprogram the brain towards more integral ways of experiencing the world. Now, if you ever heard the song Mind Games by John Lennon, guess what inspired it, that book? Just one of the little sideline pieces of her life. And she wrote a lot of books, many of which are very important. But together, she and her husband conducted research into the interdependence. This is something I think is a great gift for us. This is the interdependence of body, mind, and spirit, how we are one, and how it works together to establish consciousness and to move us in such a way that we can become all that we are meant to be. It lifts us out of that place of being trapped by our smallness and our false beliefs about ourselves. And I feel like I was extremely fortunate because for at least 8 years, I was trying to remember how long, at least 8 years, I attended Jean's mystery school. And that meant 6 weekends a year that I spent the full weekend with her doing these types of exercises that she spoke about. For those of you that did the God Seed workshop with me last Easter, or have done it with me at other times in the past, that material is Jean Houston's material and incorporates the necessity of both having an expanded awareness and a physical experience of it to anchor it into our permanent way of being. That sounds like a lot, but it's actually a lot of fun. Oftentimes, Jean used the lives of people that have had these experiences or the mythology. And she learned from these different things, and particularly from myth, because she also knew Joseph Campbell, but she learned from myth about some of the questions we need to ask ourselves. And she talked about the Holy Grail and the Percival, the young fool, the young man, the innocent, who is supposed to ask a question that will begin and initiate the healing process for another person. So the story is Percival is walking along, and he sees a gentleman fishing in the lake, and he talks to the man, and the man says, "Why don't you join me for dinner tonight? I live in that castle right up the street, and if you knock on the door, they'll let you in." And so he goes to the castle. Well, it turns out the man is the king. And this man is known as the Fisher King or the Wounded King because he has a distinct limp. And there's stories about how he got that. That's not relevant to what I'm doing now. But they sit down to dinner, and suddenly before dinner, a procession comes forward. And in the procession is the Holy Grail, the cup that held the blood of Jesus at the cross, and is a healing instrument of mythology. And it's got a whole bunch of people behind it, all sorts of things. And he's like, "Whoa, this is really impressive." And when he sees the king, and the king limps, he has a question come to mind. But he was socialized not to be rude, not to ask direct questions. This is part of what I've given up in life, so you might not want to be around me too much. But, it's like not to ask those direct questions, but to be polite in company. And so he hears in his mind that he should ask the king out of compassion, out of caring, "What ails you?" But he doesn't do it. I'm going to act like nothing's there. I'm going to act like there's no healing to happen. I'm going to ignore it. And because he ignores it and does not ask, the Holy Grail cannot bring forward its healing power to heal the king, which, by the way, when the king ails, the kingdom ails. Interesting. Because the whole kingdom is suffering famine and destitution. Because that space of a wounded king who is not healed and can't find the healing power, even though it's right in his domain, can't find it because nobody asks and will admit that the wounding is there. That is what happens with us when we ignore what goes on in our life. I ignore it, then I watch everything around me become desolated, become damaged, begin to drift away. But when I ask instead, what is this? What ails me? I open the door to find and to understand what needs to be healed. Interesting. Interesting. Catherine Meeks. I have still like 5 stories that I should share with you, but we don't have time. Which evidently I have to do part 3 because I think we're going to get to Catherine next week, okay? Darn. This is way too good. Remember this. Joy. Remember the joy that is at the core of our being, that when we sit quiet, we reveal. Jean Houston had that experience as a young child. Rumi had that experience and said, if you lift up the cloth, you see the light. Remember, this is the truth of your being, the joy, as you walk through this life and ask what ails me daily. Thank you. Part 3 next week, yeah.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. And some say love, it is a razor, and it leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. But I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never takes a chance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never learns to dance. It's the one who won't be taken, that cannot seem to give. And the soul afraid of dying, that never learns to live. when the night has been too lonely and your road has been too long, and when you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the
I love the way that works. See, that is so perfect. So thank you. Thank you. Both of your songs, both of them perfect for the day. Thank you both. Yes. So it's time for our healing prayer, and I simply invite you to close your eyes if that is comfortable, or to take a soft focus on our beautiful mural, or perhaps something else that you find beautiful in your surroundings. And know that God is. God is present right here and right now. In this very moment, the divine presence, love itself, life itself, that vibration of life that is in every cell of creation, the holiness of spirit, of mind, of body, all from the same substance, the divine substance of life. God, present right here and now. That perfect love that casts out fear. That perfect love that knows compassion, that knows all of life is part of the divine presence. God, present right here and now. That love that is the passion of creation, that brings the answer to what is mine to do. Who am I really? For each one is part of this divine love and this divine life. God present right here and now. Creator, creation, and creative process, all whole and holy. God, one, indivisible, absolute, and self-existent cause, moving forward always into creation, releasing form and becoming more, becoming greater still. God present right here and now. In this moment, bringing forward life and love within each one of us. For we are here as the manifestation of the divine. at the core of our being, that divinity that has never been hurt or harmed. That healing power that happens when we access love, when we experience compassion, when we look to light and life. I know in this very moment that God is present within each and every one of us, for that is the truth of all of creation. In this moment, I know that we are whole, perfect, and complete. That within us is that holy grail, that divine love and light that heals and reveals itself on our pathway. And so I know that we are guided this day in all ways. Each one of us on a unique pathway of unfolding. Each one of us whole and holy being. And so we simply ask, what is mine to reveal this day? What is mine to know? Gently we ask, what ails thee? What brings forward the wholeness that is our lives? What within me is to be revealed this day? For I know that our highest good is happening now, embedded in whatever might appear to be bitter experience, or what may pull us forward as that delightful revelation of divinity. In this recognition of our oneness, the holiness of all of life, we know that for anyone for whom we may be concerned, that their highest good is coming forward out of the appearance of the situation they are in now. We know good is happening. In this moment, we speak a word of love, of peace, of light, and of life for this beautiful planet that we live on. This wonderful blue pearl that spins in space. It is a blessing to us in a way that we perhaps can't even imagine. We know we are part of a wholeness, a universe that operates on good, on friendliness. And so I know in this very moment that there is a blessing going on around this planet. A blessing of peace, peace of mind. As Jesus said, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives it, not based on circumstances, but based on the wholeness of life, on the sacredness of life itself. In this moment, we send forward a blessing to all of the world religions, because we know that religion is about the yoking of the divine to humankind. It is about the relationship that is co-creation, about the oneness. And so we send forward a blessing to every church and synagogue, to every mosque and temple, to every Guru Dewata, to every Sangha, to all houses of worship, to all of the sacred places on the planet that are Mother Earth's beauty, and where the goddess reveals herself in the one. Speaking deeply, we see and send a blessing right here to us for this place, the sanctuary for spiritual living, this place of healing, of wholeness. For it is here we come to be prepared for the good that we are to be in this world.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
And so it is with a deep sense of gratitude for the life of God that lives itself as our lives now. A deep sense of gratitude for the love of God that has been placed within us so that we may experience and express it. And a deep sense of gratitude for the creative power of God that takes this word and makes it form. And so with thanksgiving, I simply let it be. And so it is. Amen. It's time now for our offering. And as our ushers come forward, I'm inviting you to take your offering in your hand. And if you are online or if you are in the sanctuary and it is easier for you to place to use Zelle, that's open. So let's say our sharing affirmation. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen.
Spread the word to each other.
We're all sisters and brothers,
Finding our way from the darkness to the light.
hand in hand we're together,
Changing the world for the better.
our love will shine
Like a beacon in the night.
We are the hope,
We are the light.
we are the truth that shines so bright. Yes, and we have the faith, the key to release a wonderful world of peace. Spread the good news to each other.
If we love one another,
Deep in our hearts, we can find a better way.
break the walls that divide us. Take the hatred inside us.
And turn it to love
Each and every day. We are the hope. We are the light. We are the truth that shines so bright. Yes, and we have the faith, the key to release a wonderful world of peace.
so many people lost in the dark.
Why can't they see? A wonderful world is waiting for them as soon as they believe. We are the hope. We are the light. We are the truth that shines so bright. Yes, and we have the faith, the key to release a wonderful world of peace.
Oh,
We are the hope.
the hope,
We are the light.
the light.
We are the truth that shines so bright. Yes, and we have the faith, the key to release a wonderful world of peace.
All right, a couple of quick announcements. First off, I want to say happy birthday to Judy Mathis. It is her birthday today. So we're saying happy birthday to her. I know she's watching online, and so we are sending her love. And tomorrow we have birthdays, Ann Stutzman and Tom McKee, both of them tomorrow, Monday. I love it. So happy birthday to both of them, too. And we have Jeffrey Buckner's birthday is Thursday. And Jean Torres' birthday is Friday, June 5th. And it hasn't stopped yet. Steve C. Santo's birthday is on June 6th, and I'm not seeing him back there any longer, but we're giving him love. So I'm like, yeah. All right. So I want to update you on the Solar Fund and let you know that tomorrow's June 1st. And I sent the email to the solar people last week and said, we talked about this happening in June. Where are we? So what I want you to know is that we are on track for solar to be installed in June. What this means is that we're on track to make a lot of payments. And so if you've been thinking about, I want to give something to the solar fund, now's the time, because we're going to be, what our desire is to pay it in full and not finance a thing. And we have $60,000 in the bank right now. We have a grant request out that I'm hoping and trusting will be fulfilled. And we are looking at how else we can do matching funds. And so I just want you to know we've got we got fun ahead. So we are stepping out. And thank you to everybody that has already given and to those who say, oh, well, maybe. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, we have something wonderful happening, and this I'd like to call Kara up and have her make this announcement because she's going to be doing a workshop for us on the first Sunday of every month through December, the first Sunday in December. And I'm going to be at every one of them, but I would like you to tell them why they want to be at this one coming up, and then you'll want to be at every one.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have the opportunity to present this series of workshops here. They are a series of workshops, as she said, that will take place every month, but each one can stand on its own. So you don't have to commit yourself to signing up to come every month from now through December. Come to this one next week and see if you're inspired to come to the next one. I'm calling this series of workshops GRACE, which stands for Goddesses Revealing All Creative Energy, the emphasis on all, meaning it's my belief that the Divine Spirit expresses a perfect balance of all creative energy, but we as human beings have a tendency to think of different kinds of energy as being either more masculine or more feminine energy. So the first workshop is called Balanced Being, and it's about understanding that the intention of the divine is to express that balance because that's what the I am is that balance. And we're going to be looking at Jesus as an example of an expression of that kind of balance. And then we'll be looking in the workshops to come at goddesses as archetypes that are examples or models of various aspects of divine energy, both masculine and feminine being expressed through these archetypes. And we're looking at them as archetypes because archetypes, when we come to deeply know them, can inspire us to embody more of what it is that they are personifying as an archetype. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I hope to see many of you there. I've been presenting these workshops in other places, and they've been very well received, and I feel like I learn just as much as everyone who attends every time we have one. So I'm excited to have this opportunity. Thank you, Reverend Chris.
Yes, I am so excited. I really am. This, if you were intrigued at all about the idea that Jean Houston put forward, these workshops are going to be that. And so I'm encouraging you to do this exploration because I know the benefit of finding out who we really are and finding out the divine patterns that are existing in the archetypes that then empower us to bring forward energy when we need it in any particular way. The mythology is always a story of the divine presence within each of us. It's got amazing things in it because it leads us to what Jean Houston called the entelechy, which is the place, the peace inside of us that is the key to our soul and brings forward all of the good. So I'm just showing up. So, and I invite you to show up with me. No, it's not Saturday, it's Sunday. It's next Sunday. It is after we get things complete in the kitchen, which means 1:15, so that the people that are in the kitchen can come and join us, which is important for all of us to know. And it is 2 hours, and it's $25, and you are investing in your life. It is priceless. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so we also have on Saturday, June 13th, if you were intrigued by me talking about oneness, Saturday, June 13th at noon, we have Cindy Jaime hosting a movie and lunch, and the movie is Oneness, The Journey of Awakening. And so that's also going to be about that bringing forward that oneness, that understanding of who we really are. And on Sunday, June 14th, we have a concert. And Mary, would you like to say anything about our guest that Sunday?
He's amazing.
Yeah, he sure is.
His name is Carson, and he was here last
Yes.
year. He just has an absolutely gorgeous voice. He played the Hunchback in the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was Quasimodo. He just has a glorious voice, and he's he's an alumni of St. Francis High School, and going on to do wonderful things. So I know he just has a gorgeous voice. So I hope you will join us.
And this is the first of our summer concerts, and we're doing it on Sunday because we figure we'll be able to save money on electricity. And guess what? June's the last month we have to worry about that. And so in July, they'll go back to Wednesday night because we'll be able to supply the energy through the solar power that we own and not pay additional money to be here and be cool. So you can be cool right here. And I want to remind you, if you're interested in a Silomar, sign up today because the rates change today, although if you sign up tomorrow, you can still go. So that's all we need to know. There is food, and let's stand for the peace song. We turn to face, easy for me to say, face the back wall, and that's where our camera is, so we get to wave to our online community.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind,
Life is in my mind.
life is in my body,
Life is in my body.
and life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I think it,
I think
I
it.
feel it,
I feel it.
I know it,
I know it.
and I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is,
Just the way that it is.
and just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank